Remember when you paid for a game one time and that was it? They couldn't ask you for more money? Welcome to another episode of What Happened to This Game? A series where I, Sydney Goodman, tell you what happened to this game, Destiny. It felt huge before it even dropped. They sold it to us as this game that would never end and basically replace everything else. The team making Destiny, Bungie, was just coming off a sad, weird exit from creating a medium-defining game. One of the first of its kind for the mainstream console crowd, and they were going to do it again. The idea was to take MMO-style updates, multi-year roadmaps, and long-term monetization, wrap them up in a Bungie shooter, and market it as a 10-year living universe backed by hundreds of millions of dollars. At its peak, you had millions of people building their entire routine around raids, trials, and exotic grind. It felt like every friend group had that one player who only played Destiny. It was me. I was the person in that friend group. But with all those promises, it was never really a smooth ride. People clowned the vanilla loot system, aka not that deep, Eververse drama, aka trying to get you to spend money, content vaulting, aka taking away parts of the game to keep things fresh, $60 game plus $40 DLC cycles, aka trying to get you to spend money. So this games as a service fatigue really started to hit. Then there was the state of the game in 2023, which pissed a lot of people off, and we will get to in just a second. But where are we now in 2026? The games kept going. Expansions stacked up, power creep got wild, and a lot of casuals quietly fell off while the hardcore people just kept playing. Right now, Destiny 2 still has about tens of thousands online at any given point, which was kind of surprising to me, and ends up being hundreds of thousands monthly. It spikes whenever new seasons or episodes drop, which makes sense, and then dips again when the grind starts feeling like a second job. Also makes sense. In 2024, Destiny 2's The Final Shape finally wrapped up the 10-year Light and Darkness saga. It added the prismatic subclass and tried to give longtime players a real ending to the story that the game started with. And for the most part, players and critics alike were really happy with The Final Shape, which is saying something about the content because player goodwill was just not there a year earlier. Let's get back to that state of the game post that I mentioned earlier. It really was the breaking point where players felt like the business model kept winning over the experience of actually playing the game. You could say it started all the way back in 2017 when players discovered that Destiny was secretly throttling XP gains, the same XP that you need to earn bright engrams for free, which you could coincidentally just buy in the store with real money. It made it feel like the systems were pushing you to just spend money, which doesn't feel good. So back to the 2023 post. Bungie laid out long-term goals, but also basically admitted that PvP would get limited support and Gambit was being de-emphasized. And this landed so bad with players who had been begging for meaningful updates to those game modes. It just kind of felt like a bit of a slap to the face to everyone who had stuck around since the beginning. To be fair, through all of this, Bungie has righted its wrongs once there was enough dust kicked up. So was the closure of that 10-year Destiny saga the end of things? Not at all. Bungie's confirmed a post-Final Shape future with new sagas, expansions, and a revised content model instead of just ending the game. And the current plan is to move away from one giant annual expansion into a twice-a-year medium-sized expansion.